Give away a goodie bag to everybody, the first 100 people.
Today is, William Hauser is going to be present to address the mayor and the board of aldermen concerning our burn ordinance. And just to let you know, on the ordinance, we don't allow any burning, in the city of Springhill except for the week of April 22nd through April 28th, which is that yearly cleanup that we have. Mr. Hauser?
Yes. Well, I had realized that, and I just checked on that, and I was made aware today that it's legal to burn refuse right now, any day, in burn barrels. Is that correct, or in that?
No.
Fine?
No.
Well, somebody was telling me it was, and I hadn't heard it, but I wanted to see if that was right
You can
at first.
burn in your fireplace or burn firewood in a fire pit outside.
Right. But not limbs and leaves and stuff like that.
Well, in a fire pit, I guess you could probably burn that. I mean, like normally people set out like around the campfire or something of that nature.
Right. Well, what I was
wouldn't think
thinking,
a lot of leaves where it makes a lot of smoke. People love to try to burn in wet leaves and then just smoke the whole neighborhood.
right,
And a lot of people are allergic to the smoke.
Yeah.
right. Well, what I thought, my idea about it was that over a whole year, everybody piling up their sticks, limbs, and leaves to get ready for that 1 week. That seems like a lot of big fires all clumped together, where if they had like the first or second Saturday of every month, it would only add 5 days of actual burning, because now we have 7 days. And it would be spread out, and that would be better for the fire department, is what I was thinking. You know, to get it spread out more, because last year when I burnt my pile, the year before I had missed for whatever reason, and it melted the wire coming from my telephone pole. It was so big, I mean, it was a monster fire. And to be able to cut the fires back to where they're reasonable, maybe once a week, I just thought y'all might wanna take that into consideration and think about it.
Okay.
But that's really about all I had.
All right, we'll bring it up. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next item, Derek wanted me to put this on the agenda, discuss the use of ATVs on city streets.
Well, it's kind of a little out of hand again. I think that's something we're gonna have to address. I mean, there's a group of them that come down my street wide open, and it doesn't bother me to ride them if they're just piddling around, but they don't piddle around. And it's not just my neighborhood, but I've had other people call me and ask me about that too, so we can slow that down.
And call the police department.
No, I haven't called them, but people have called, and they still do it. It's not that the police didn't come out, it's still happening.
Yeah, this outreach reports where we pull people over, we tow ATVs if they're close to their house, and we will say, okay, we're gonna follow you over there, but don't let us get you out there again. Things of that nature.
I just wanted to bring that up and bring that to the attention, because, even while we've been working on this house over there, we had several of them over in that neighborhood too.
Anytime you see one, call us and notify us if we don't know if there's, not a whole lot.
Yeah, I understand that, and that day that whole group, well, they've done it more than once, went down that street. I probably should have called y'all, but I will the next time. Just want you to be aware of that. So when they're out driving around, they're gonna hide from me anyway, I know.
Oh, they hide, they run.
I know, I have boys that did that, so.
Are we allowed out in the audience to comment on when they're bringing up subjects? This is my first meeting.
Yes, sir, as long as it's short.
Okay, I left out of Walmart one day and there was one coming up where the old railroad tracks used to be, in between the 4-lane and the other highway, going wide open. By the time I got through Main Street and took care of some business, he was booking it across, never slowed down right up here at the end of town with police behind him. And, you know, yeah, they go crazy over
Yeah.
on our side over there.
The police are doing, the best job they can, I guess, to catch them, but it's hard to do.
Right.
What is the law about, you're talking about the four-wheelers, correct? What is the law? Because they do ride a lot. What is, like, you know, when they go to the park, I just talk about West Side, you see top from in, they ride up and down the road.
It's very simple, if it doesn't have a license plate, it doesn't have insurance, it doesn't belong on the street.
Oh, they have to have a license plate.
Uh-huh.
None of them got.
None of them
It
do.
doesn't have a license, it doesn't have insurance, you're not supposed to ride it on the street.
Okay. Understood. I never saw one with a license plate.
Okay, the next item is,
Wow.
discuss the west side park vandalism. Nicole, called us earlier this week, and we've been over there to look at it. It's back on the back side where the ball field used to be. It's a bathroom, men and women bathroom, a concession stand. And of course, we've done this over and over and over again, and Nicole has worked on it over and over and over again, and we still kill people tearing it up. You know, they rip the doors off, they rip the knobs out of the doors, the commodes are just terribly trashed. I mean, it's in bad shape. I mean, we're gonna have to spend some more money again to fix it up. And, I mean, these are facilities that really aren't used anymore, you know, and, I think as long as we own it though, you've gotta take care of it. So my suggestion is to declare that piece of dirt there, where the ball field used to be, which we don't use it anymore, declare it surplus property and put it up for bids. It's right, it butts up next to the cemetery of the Harrison Baptist Church. I know they probably like to extend the cemetery, but of course, we still have the west side, the building and the land and the playground, with it. And of course, we're spending, a lot of money keeping it up, but we're doing it because we don't really have a recreation center for the kids. And that is the one we have left that is, that we have maintained, and we have, and continue to spend a lot of money on it, you know. We just recently approved a paint job for it, we've done a lot of work inside recently, but, it's pretty nice. I mean, it's a nice facility for the kids to use, and you've got somebody to manage it, to keep it from getting torn up. You got Coach Flan to discipline the kids and whatever, to keep it in good shape. But that's one reason we need to, I think, keep that part for sure. But that is open for discussion, but whatever, Nicole, whatever you wanna say about it.
I guess I never considered until now that you said surplus property, because I just never considered that, I guess. So that's new, so I can't really process that at the moment, because where are you talking about the surplus property? And it's for,
Just where the ball field was,
Ball field.
The ball field.
oh, just the ball park of
that
it,
is,
or?
just that.
That whole part, the
Where the
bathroom.
concession building that I worked deliberately for? No, no. I paid for that with worked and paid for. You know what I'm saying? The city didn't pay for that. So, that was, to do fundraisers and so forth and so forth. So, as far as that part of it, I think we need to bring that back up again for discussion, because it's an investment. It's just, that, I'm telling you what I know. That part of the west side, the Brown High, Miss Mary Allwood and all, that group of people, I don't know, I would like to get their input before I come and say yay or nay. And I'll be okay with it, okay? Because that is a historic area, because there was so much separation, and they were part of that separation. Now, with the church and all that, I don't have nothing to do with that. And the cemetery, I don't even know who owns it, okay, so, but that would be my concern, before, we make a decision. We need to include their input. I would not want to make a decision to make that park.
Okay.
No, sir.
Well, we'll just put it on hold then and leave it like it is.
Yes, sir, and we'll see if I could collaborate with them
Okay.
and get some
Fine.
feedback and bring it back.
And
But-
if they wanna sell it, I don't see any sense in fixing it up then, and spending that money to fix what they've been tearing up.
No.
Well, they're talking about the park, they're talking about the bathrooms. The bathrooms, they took the locks off.
But is that in conjunction with this little piece of property?
Yeah, but Mr. Flanagan, now, this is my opinion. A recreational supervisor ensures that all that stuff is taken care of, because it's supervised, right? There are rules in place, correct? For an example, if you go to the gym, they say you cannot enter without a shirt on, that's a rule, right?
Mhm.
So rules have to be put in place for something to operate efficiently and effectively. So when you have a supervisor, I went to the class with Carol Bro when he was the mayor, cause I wanted to know what a supervisor did. So I found out what they do. Like now, they would have something going on, if it wasn't nothing but whatever.
But this party's talking about being tore up, that must be being done at night, or why nobody?
It doesn't matter when it's done, it's never
It's
supervised.
way away from the building that she's talking
Yeah.
about. It's way
And it-
away.
it's-
It's all by itself, it'd be easy.
It's
to
not
tear up.
used?
No.
People use it here and there during the summer, they'll get baseball games and so forth, and we went back and forth with that because there was an overcrowding. Remember we talked to
There was several times
attorney?
I had to shut it
Attorney.
down.
Yeah, we've had trouble out there.
Yeah. I don't think nobody got killed. There was a lot of people.
They pulled guns and stuff.
But I'm just saying, if you wanna go back and talk and see
Yeah.
if everybody's in agreement to just get rid of that piece of property, then I'd say, just don't spend no money on no bathrooms
Well, we're
and fix
not.
all this up, till.
Believe me, we're not.
Exactly.
We're not spending.
Who owns the old football stadium? Is Harrison?
I don't know. I have no idea.
They own the stadium part?
Yeah, I'll get some feedback.
My opinion on that park, I would try to, work for the city, hold on to it for long as you
Can't hear you.
can. For sentimental value to me, I play ball in that field out there. And as far as the upkeep, as far as the bathrooms and stuff like that. There's another solution, you know, you can always put porta pots out there when somebody's having something. And then transport it back and forth. But if they're not having anything for us, spending a lot of more money for fixing bathrooms, I don't see the point in that, because, you know, we don't use it that often. But when times are, when we are using it, you can put porta pots out there.
And just tear the stuff that's down there down.
There's cinder block.
There's
There's
Cinder block back.
They don't tear the building up, they tear up the doors, they tear up the seams, they tear up the commodes, the facilities, they destroy.
I actually went over and got a shotgun out of one.
Oh,
Really?
man.
Well, I knew it was there, I was told it was there.
Oh.
It was stolen.
Wow.
Shotgun.
And Nicole built a concession building, and they tore the windows and doors off of it.
And one thing y'all might consider is putting some gates up. I know that's a public street, but you could block that off from Harrison Chapel, that little strip of the road. And that way, when somebody does have an activity, they can contact Coach Land or City Hall or somebody and say, hey, we're having something up here. Can we get the key to the gate? Or to
You talking about closing the street down,
to the cable?
fence the street out,
Yeah,
one end from like
I
the
don't
curb
know.
to the other end of it?
And I don't know if you could or not, just maybe put up some security cameras and some more lights and hopefully.
Actually, I thought we had security cameras. I thought, cause I looked, there was one, but I don't know if it's, being viewed or whatever, but,
And I don't know how you would without Wi-Fi, I mean, you got power there, but you don't have Wi-Fi.
right, and it is a camera up there. I wanted to say, even with that, just like boys right now, they're out there playing basketball. Cause they don't have nowhere to go.
Yeah, I know.
That's what they do. I'm not saying they are the culprit, but when you don't provide and you gotta jump through hoops to even get anything done, you know,
I think
that becomes a problem, because we would actually be doing some of this too much bureaucracy to deal with.
what you're saying is you'd like to see the west side park, the recreation building be open more.
Yes,
And utilized more
with supervision,
than the outside ballpark.
not just open,
That's fine, we're spending a fortune keeping it up.
but you don't have no supervision. I mean-
Cause land's not over there.
Well, it can't be there twenty-four hours.
Alright, like, we can get some more input and we'll talk about it later. Until we do though, we won't do anything over there. Discuss amending the budget June 30, 2024. Shelley, you wanna go over that?
Yeah, so I talked to Christine yesterday afternoon, you know, we're getting to start the budget process for the upcoming budget year. And I had called her because, you know, we did several things at last month's meeting, and we got several things on the agenda for this month's meeting, and they are not in the budget for this year. So, we've always in the past just waited and amended the budget at year end, but that's not what you're really supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be looking at the budget throughout the year, and it should be amended during the course of the year. So I made you a list, it's in your packets there, of the things that we've done since the beginning of this budget year in July. And you can see all the projects were done, and some of them are emergencies, we don't have no control over that. But there's a few things in there that, you know, we might could have held off on, but we went on and approved to have it done. But anyways, the grand total of it came to $832,464.69. So that's gonna have to be amended to include that in this year's budget.
Some of these things in here, Shelley, aren't they, there's money for them too?
Well, there's some, like, but we haven't got the money yet, but it doesn't matter whether there's money in there for them or not. We're supposed to show both sides, we show the income and the expense.
Right.
And I think the income is in the budget for some of them, but the expense is not, because remember when we was working on budget last year, and y'all wasn't happy with some of the things, y'all had us take out some of the projects and whatnot that were in there, plus vehicles, you know, you took out vehicles that were in the budget, and they're not in there for this year either.
Well, let me ask this question. The new building at the rec, the new lawnmowers, and the security cameras out there. Can that be recouped out of that 500,000 to finish that field out there?
I don't know.
I don't see why it couldn't, because it's all got to do with that out
Yeah,
there.
well, but they're so funny about how you spend that money when they give it to you. You know, you gotta, I don't know, I'd have to check.
I mean, because that money right there could go back into the, if we could do that.
Yeah,
And that would solve that.
We're
But I know
here-
right now.
Yeah, we're here in April now, and are you gonna get this money before June 30? Highly doubt
I
it.
knew he told us we were gonna get it, but, and the engineer said a couple months ago that we had it, because I asked him when that ball field got finished, was there enough money to tear that other crap down? And he said, yes, so I said, well, I got thinking the other day, we could probably, if there's still enough, recoup this out of that.
Well, we can ask. I can ask. Sure can.
But that's her suggestion that we go on and amend the budget to include all of this, so we can incorporate it in the budget that we're fixing to be putting together, which will be a draft. We'll have a draft for several, you know, weeks before we finalize it.
These are all
It'll be a
items,
working budget is what it'll be.
these are all items y'all have approved, it's more of a bookkeeping thing.
Well, I think that's just common sense, I mean, we have to show where it's at, what it's going to, we have to make sure the public knows.
Like the big one there, the 10th Street Northeast, that was paid for out of, that ARPA funds. You know, you didn't have to pay for that at all, so.
That's the sewer project.
But we'll have that, we need to do that Monday night. Get that corrected.
City buildings and roofs, they were under insurance. so-
Yes. So-
The insurance, the final total bill came in at $115,000, and we only got, you know, like 94,000.
No, but you still have money coming.
But I
from
haven't
the
heard
insurance
anything,
company.
and did you talk to,
I told him I needed a detailed,
Need a
or
detailed
he said
bill.
bring it. Well, we got, what is it, $9,600 that's coming in addition from the insurance company?
well, I I don't know, I haven't seen any paperwork on it, so.
Well, after the work's done, we're supposed to get that, it's a retainage that they keep.
Well, he just told me to get the.
So we haven't got all the money
Yeah, we
yet.
don't have it all yet.
No, we got all the money yet from the insurance company.
Splash pad, that's money coming too, probably.
Yep.
Well, now that 75,000 is an additional to what we approved originally, you know, remember when?
Yeah, cause it ran over.
It went over.
Well, I mean, it can make sense, you gotta do what's legal and keep us in compliance.
Yeah, it's more of a bookkeeping. Okay, next item is to make you aware of an emergency expenditure. Mike, you wanna go over that?
Yeah, we, discovered a hole over in on Shady Oak Street or Cobb Street, whichever way you know it, in the middle of the road. And, after further investigation, we found a sewer manhole that had collapsed in the middle of the road. And it was something that had to be fixed right then. And, got contractor here locally to come do it, get it fixed, and it's got a new manhole installed and everything's okay. We got the street blocked up real good. It's about 22,000, I think.
I haven't seen the bill, so.
Between $22,000 and $25,000.
And still gotta have asphalt on it.
It's gonna have to have asphalt on it. We're gonna let the rock set on it and drive over it for a few weeks and get good hard before we put asphalt.
But this is just another case of things like this that are happening all over town. We can't predict that expenditure when you have an emergency like that. It's something that's gotta be fixed for the people.
In the middle of the road.
You don't never know when that's gonna happen.
In the middle of the road, I had to do it, couldn't go around it, just had to fix it.
Okay, the next item is discuss declaring four city vehicles as surplus property no longer needed for public use and advertising them for bid. It's, 3 trucks that they don't run anymore, they're sitting in the yard, and, we need to get rid of them. And then we also have the van that Miss Beverly drove for years that we have no use for anymore, because we don't do that service anymore, we discontinued that. So we just need to bring them up and declare them surplus and sell them.
I was gonna ask you, did you
Yeah,
have?
sure.
We had a 2007 Chevy out.
2000 Chevy
You
Avenue.
know which truck to.
Yeah, I got a note down on the mayor's list.
What are we doing with that Harley Davidson? Can we sell them?
It was donated to us from the sheriff's office, it's used in funerals and parades and things.
Then y'all have in your packet a list of all the vehicles that we have, but I need to probably ask for that, so it's in there.
Yeah, it could be sold, that's okay.
I don't see a need for it.
And
Sheriff's office gave one, and gave one.
that's a list of everything we have, in case you want to look at it.
What's the other trucks again now?
Tell them which one we're selling.
I know
Okay,
that
we're
too.
selling the 2008 Silverado, and then on the front page, you got the 2004 Chevrolet. It's number 21, yeah, it's the first one under the water. First vehicle under the water, and then under custodian, the 2004 Chevrolet.
And they're both bids over.
And on the second page, at the top is the 1999 Dodge van.
That's still running.
Yeah, it's still
Yeah.
in good shape, it's still in good shape.
And then right down from that, the 2007 Chevrolet Avalanche. That's what the chief just asked.
Mike, do you know where that 2002 Ford F-150 is? I don't know.
We're driving.
Okay, I was gonna say, it's under police.
But that's the one Boo uses, that's the one we had originally had, and you took it, and saves
I
money.
don't have
That old cell phone.
Yeah.
And the last one is under the street department, that first one, 2006 Chevrolet Silverado.
That's fine.
That's whole.
It's five.
Five at wheel, yeah.
Yeah, because we will have that one.
Okay,
Are we adding the motorcycle?
And the street, the one.
that's up to y'all.
Who Harley Davidson?
Just a
buddy.
Silverado.
Maybe Ronnie.
The Harley Davidson.
You can't, Ronnie can't buy it.
Oh, that's right.
Cause I bet you said an oh six.
He bought it 3 years.
He's got all this.
Yeah,
And they
under the
actually,
street department,
Ronnie actually donated the
2006
lights.
Chevrolet
and
Silverado.
stuff to
I'm
company.
trying to get them ready for the list.
Ronnie D.
Ronnie,
Probably can't buy it, you know, because it's.
he donated the lights,
So it'll be 5.
back in working order.
You want to keep it, I mean, is it costing us on insurance and?
Because of that much, like I said, at times for a funeral and or parade, I'm not, it's too much pack, I just wanna put somebody out there on the drive, unless I wanna get rid of an officer, then I can control it.
No, we don't wanna do that. Just keep it on.
Okay. Okay, the next item, discuss the purchase of a truck for the water department. One of those trucks that we just declared surplus, is the truck that bit the dust that we needed to buy another one for. But, we have found another piece of a truck that he can use. And so, I think we're just gonna probably wait.
We don't need to purchase any more trucks right now.
Isn't that one of the items, our EPA was talking about when we purchased trucks, remember? What's her name, Kristen?
Christine,
Christine, yeah, cause she said we just couldn't like buy it, you know, we have to put it out to bid, you know, I mean, see
yeah,
bid
right,
for
right,
truck.
Or state contract.
right. But we're gonna hold off on that, so especially till after budget, we'll get through that. Ronnie can drive another truck, so we have one more truck that we got. Next item is, discuss the purchase of 2 police vehicles. I think I put a copy of that in your folder. I think the total of it is about 30,000.
Yes, I called him back and asked him if he would take, we did not buy any vehicles last year. And with the school board asking for some more SROs, that's 2 black and white sitting out by the schools. Now, I could put them in a plain unit, but I think it's good for when somebody pulls up there and sees a black and white police unit. Might deter them from entering that school in a harmful manner. These 2 vehicles, they're used vehicles where I have purchased for the last several years. They're already loaded out. The only thing I would have to do is, painted black, scheme on their white, get the black scheme painted and put a radio.
Okay, that'll come up Monday night then, for vote on.
I don't think they'll still be there come budget time. They're at a dealership in Shreveport. They lease them out and just sell them back to other agencies.
I guess it was last year, you bought the motor.
This year, I bought them.
Was it this year? Okay.
This year.
And we discussed trying to do new instead of,
The
to
problem,
keep a rotating good stock going.
problem with doing new, it goes, you're gonna spend, I'm gonna say $50,000 or $60,000 on one brand new one. Because when you buy a police car, say from the Chevrolet place on state contract, it doesn't come with lights, it doesn't come with cages, push bumpers, it doesn't come with anything, it's just a whole other vehicle. and then you spend another 14 or 15,000 putting accessories on it. Then you spend another, it's not painted, you spend another 2,500 getting it painted, and the decals. I mean, I'm gonna say a new one, I'm estimating, hadn't even looked at the state contract, I'm gonna say 60,000.
My issue is they've got a lot of miles on them, we don't, that's actual miles.
These-
Actual miles that they drove, but we don't know how many idle hours they have on them.
How many miles do these have on them?
They got 127, 147, and that's my issue with them.
Oh, I see it now. I'm
I had
sorry,
that
I'm
problem
sorry.
with the
I'm
motor
sorry.
too, and I'll be honest with you, I talked to a few mechanics about that 3.5 that's in there and the mileage and all, and they're going like, man, I don't know. That's my problem, and I'll just be honest with you.
Well, and I don't disagree, I would love to have a brand new, if we wanna spend that kind of money.
The other question is, do we have the money? And with us getting this close to budget time, and I know you say they won't be there, but, I think we need to really go to our budget pretty tight right now. I mean, I don't, we've got, how many police cars we got? There's several on here, but they don't have anybody. These are the, we got 2010, we got 1, 2, 3.
I know the 2012 is up to date, with Donnie driving it, 15, Rex is driving it, that Charger is not correct.
It's not Clifford.
No, cause he is in, Cliff is now in William Fraser's unit.
Which was that,
And I'm thinking one of these Ford Explorers should be taken off, cause it got totaled out. Not long after I purchased it.
that's the one that went in, here by State Line. And then you got,
The F-150 is not mine. What is the Chevrolet today?
Car.
probably an Impala.
That's gonna be one of those, no, I don't have an Impala, I have a, Caprice, that's gonna be,
Caprice.
those are those two Caprices that I just purchased 2 years ago.
And I know you didn't do anything last year, but I just really wanna go through this budget before we buy anything that big.
And I do too, and I would, I mean, since we're this close to the budget, could you put a new car in your budget?
And the reason why I say I need to is when you put one man, that's his office for that day. When you start doubling them up, and this one drives this, if I'm driving one and you're sharing it, and Dennis is sharing it, they don't take care of that. When it's their car and they feel like it's theirs, they get like little kids. I don't want him driving my car, but they take care of it, and my maintenance bill for that day.
I mean, you have no extras.
No, I'm short too.
What was the one they towed in here a couple weeks ago? That was one of those Explorers.
It was one of those Explorers, the carbon filter at the gas tank. They stopped it, it wouldn't even let it replace the filter, it's back.
Be honest, I'm not, this close to date, I'm not that excited about purchasing cars or trucks.
Okay, well, come up,
If they don't wanna do it, maybe let's take it off.
That's my opinion, I don't, the rest of them.
I mean, I sort of feel the same way, we're so close and all this other stuff caving in, and I really don't feel comfortable with that.
what about you, Dennis?
See if we can make just a little while.
Yeah. Jason,
Let's wait.
Nicole,
Undecided.
undecided, all right.
I'm pretty goddamn,
Broken present.
you like, Mike Johnson.
Okay, the next item is, purchase a new lawnmower. This was for, the mower that took care of the west side. It cratered on us and we needed to buy a new one, but we decided we're not gonna buy one for the west side. We're just gonna put it on, our list of more stuff that we've got to take care of as far as our mowing goes. I'm not, Coach Land used to do it, but, I think we're just gonna do it ourselves and not buy another mower. But, you know, when they go complain about it not being done good enough or quick enough, they just gonna have to complain. Because there's no way we can do all the mowing we've got to do with what we've got to do with it. But we'll just do the best we can. Discuss repairs to the recreation complex green machine in the amount of $4,277.42. This is the machine that the piece of equipment they have to keep the ball field up, that was stolen, that tried to destroy the thing, cut out parts of it, but to repair and get it back like it needs to be for them to use, it's $4,277. The new one's like $20,000.
Between 20 and 25,000.
I was in, Deacon Blade in El Dorado, and they had the same machine, and it had the little scoop on the front, it had tines in the middle, and it had the drag. I started to take a picture, but, God, that's a lot of money for those three little parts.
And that price is to put those 3 little parts back on it.
You got an estimate on it? Give me a copy of that estimate. Can't guarantee it, to get blood out of the permit, maybe we get restitution.
Got the one comes right. Yeah.
Because that kind of stuff is not insured, is it?
Well, we have a $10,000,
It's not on insurance, so.
oh, it's not? Okay. Because it's.
Okay, this new building, I reckon we ought to, I mean, 'cause it's gonna have all this stuff in there now, I reckon we ought to put some kind of insurance on it.
Well, during my investigation, I also found out the lawnmower, the golf cart that went missing, had been used for about 3 months before it ever got reported.
That's what I figured.
Nobody's been out there.
And that's the question people have been asking me, well, why you got stuff like that out there, go check on it periodically, and I agree, cause I told somebody today, I said, all this sound equipment in CXC, even though we don't use it but monthly, I go up there like once a week just to look at it and make sure nobody has come in here, so, same thing there. If you've been going out there all along and checking on your stuff for 5 minutes, it would probably
Yeah,
still
it was
be.
winter time, I guess, nothing
Yeah.
goes on out there. But anyway, got over that and gone, so. Let's see,
Are they gonna have, Jeffrey called me yesterday, is it pretty close to being?
Yeah.
They had to order everything, and it's supposed to come in midweek. He told me, he let me know, so it's
Okay.
gotta go.
Okay, I told him I'd be up here.
They had to put it on site.
And to put, John Deere had to order the stuff from a third party.
We're talking about the building.
the building's
Yeah,
finished,
the building's there.
Switched on that area.
it's finished.
About 265.
The next item is, the recreation complex security system. The current system, we found out, was outdated. It's the original system that was put in there when they built the park. And it could not be added to, and so we had to update the system itself. But in this update, it covers the front of this building, and it also goes back to these, we have these 2 new water tanks, huge water tanks, and all the computers and stuff that control them, well, that's not been under any kind of, camera or anything, in case somebody were to go in there and do something to the water, or just to tear it up, vandals, which we seem to have more and more of a problem with that, just people tearing up stuff to tear up stuff, but this would put it under camera, it's under cameras now.
There's also a camera inside the building.
Cameras are inside.
In the new little building?
Yeah.
What about the actual diamond right there in the middle, like concession stand?
Yes.
Is there anything
Yes.
there?
Yes, it already was.
Okay.
Well, there's stuff there, cause we had a case where we went and tried to see if somebody ran by there.
Yeah. We didn't have to, we already had that part of it.
And it will, just for your knowledge, the the cameras that we're putting out there, I made sure that you could pull up and get facial recognition on them, if you have to, need to.
Yeah, they're
They're
really,
that kind of quality.
they said back when this old system was bought, they couldn't, the quality was not good at all, but nowadays it is.
That one inside that building that you're gonna put, you might ask them if you could put a motion sensor. And it'll ring somebody's phone. Went off at 2 o'clock in the morning. Good enough. Yeah.
Okay, oh, that's,
But that's $8,700, and, a bid from
I
another,
can't sit with a shotgun and guard it for that.
another company that bid on it was, they bid $9,785. Oak Ridge Security Systems out of Denton. Let's see, that'll be Monday night. Also be prepared Monday night to go into executive session at the start of the meeting, and it's probably gonna last a good while. It's over legal matters that we need to discuss. But we'll do that Monday night, the very first meeting. We are advertising on the Facebook and whatever for, qualified and experienced recreation director to replace John Ware. I've gotten 4 or 5 applications already.
He resigned,
He will after this,
baseball.
he'll be gone. So I've gotta have time to get somebody, you know. Got 4 or 5 really good applications so far, so. Let's see, what else? I believe that's all I have, unless y'all have something.